If you have a box truck business, let's say you have a new business around box truck, and you're trying to get a business loan for your startup, it's very important to pay attention to certain steps because lenders are very strict when it comes to box truck businesses. Especially if your geography is very competitive, you might have problems if you don't follow certain rules. But luckily, in today's conversation, I want to share with you a few steps you need to pay attention to so that you can actually get your startup business loan approved for your box truck as soon as possible. So here are the steps I really want you to follow. So first thing first, you need to have a clear idea about what lenders are looking for. And lenders pay attention to your monetization process. So if you have a box truck business and you're trying to do some deliveries here and there in town or around town, or you're doing OTR, lenders want to pay attention to your monetization process. What does that mean? They want to see how much you are making money, or not how much, how you are going to make money. Are you going to charge customers what we call rate per RPM, rate per mile, RPC, rate per contract, or RPL, rate per load, okay, or RPH, rate per hour? So it's really important to really clarify how you're going to charge, how you're going to make money. So they also pay attention to your time in business. So are you like a brand new startup, or like you've been around for 3 months or 6 months? And if you've been around for 3 months or 6 months, lenders want to see a little bit about your activity. Like, have you produced something? Have you had some revenue? Have you generated some revenue? If not, they want to see things like your financial projections to see how your operation is going to evolve. Okay. See, the whole thing is that you want to actually reassure the lenders that, hey, listen, I may be a brand new, I may be a newbie, on a new kid on the block, whatever, but I do have a solid business process in place to monetize my box truck business. Okay. Lenders also want to pay attention to your personal credit score. So, boss, if you don't think because you are going to get like a business loan for your box truck, they're going to forget about your personal credit score. No, they want to know more about your business credit score if you have one, but also your personal credit score. Okay. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you into this conversation. And so, lenders pay attention to your time in business, your monetization model, your personal credit score, your business credit score. They pay attention to your cash flow projections. Okay, so goes back to what I said about financial projections. They pay attention to that, and if you have collateral you want to pledge, they also pay attention to that. And most importantly, the industry you're in. So you have to learn a lot about what lenders are looking for. The second thing I want you to pay attention to if you're trying to get a loan for your new box truck business is to really decide what type of loan or financing you need. See, the whole thing here is that when we talk about box trucks and we are talking about business loan for a box truck delivery business, you have a constellation of loans. This is not just like, are you looking for money to take care of equipment? Are you looking for money just to revamp, to buy a new or a used box truck, like the vehicle itself? Or do you need money to pay for inventory? Do you need money to put a deposit for a lease agreement? Like, you got to really be clear about what kind of cash you're going to use. You're going to use what kind of purpose you're going to use the cash for. Okay, so this is why we always tell our clients, hey, listen, if you're going to have a box truck business, have a clear idea about the use of loan proceeds, okay? Because the use of loan proceeds will dictate what type of loan you are going to get. Because when it comes to box truck business loans for startups, you have traditional bank loans, you have credit union loans, you have micro loans, you have online loans, you have business lines of credit, you have business cash advances, you have cash flow loans, you have a lot of loans. So you got to be clear about what kind of loans that you need. Okay. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about box trucks, how to get a loan for a new business. Okay. And don't forget also, another sector of the industry, we have the online loans, and you also have the alternative lenders. Okay, for example, if you take some a lender such as a Kalamata Group or Smart Base, you have all the lending marketplaces. So there are some. So you got to also ask yourself: do I want a direct lender, like a bank or credit union, or am I comfortable talking to a middleman, like a lender marketplace? So you have NBC, so National Business Capital. You also have Lendio, so you have Smart Base also. So those are platforms that do not lend to you directly, so you're not gonna get the cash from them. But what happens here is that they will basically, like, you just have you fill out a form, And you can pre-qualify, by the way, though. You can pre-qualify for your box truck startup business loan, and you fill out one form, and that application is dispatched to, say, 50 or 75 lenders in the network. So this works pretty fantastically, by the way. The next thing I want you to do here is to find out how to get approved, because see, the whole thing is that when you are trying to get approved for your box truck new business, you need to understand whether the lender is going to approve you like online, or they're going to send you a letter in the mail, or they're going to call you, because some lenders are like, every lender is different. Some lenders want you to go to a branch. For example, if you have a big national bank such as Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, or let's say a Citi, they want you to go to a branch. They want you to sit your ass down with the loan rep and really go through everything, okay? Because they want to see you. And sometimes they will send you a letter, a pre-qualification letter, to go to a car dealership, to go to a dealership to sort of get your box truck. That's if you are trying to buy the vehicle itself. But remember, when we talk about box truck business loan, you can get the cash for many things. You can get the cash for inventory. You can get the cash for some special accessories. You can get the cash for a lot of things. So find out how to get approved. Boss, I want to quickly remind you, today's topic, we are having a conversation about box truck, how to get a loan for a new business. I like to actually recontextualize the conversation, because I want to make sure that we are on the same page, so you know what to do if you are trying to get yourself into this activity, okay? So number one, learn what lenders are looking for. Number two, decide what type of loan or financing you need. Number three, you want to find out how to get approved. Number four, now I want you to think about how you need to start gathering documents. So you want to gather the paperwork, okay? So anything about your business bank account statements, you need to have business bank statements anyway. If you have some tax returns on the personal side, you need to have them. So the lender wants to make sure that you are a law-abiding citizen in the first place before lending to you, right? So they want to make sure you have not been playing games with the tax with the tax authorities at at the state or federal level. Okay, they might ask you to send also financial documents, and in this case, this will be financial projections, and make sure that you really do them really well, because financial projections paint a picture about your business. Even if it's not reality, they still paint a picture by your business. Now, what I want you to do next is to really choose a lender. Okay, so if you have a box truck and you're trying to get a loan for your new business, you don't have a box truck, you are trying to get a loan for a new box truck business, lenders play an important role. And I think I alluded to lenders a few minutes ago, but lenders play an important role, and lenders are not created equal. Lenders don't come in the same box, if you will. The thing is that some lenders are strict, while others are like, whatever. Let's just do whatever you want it to work. I mean, so it's important, first of all, to identify the lenders you want to go after. And as we always say on this show, when it comes to delivery business in general, whether you want to compete with with other players in the industry, or you're trying to get funding, remember that delivery is by default a geography-based business. Like, what I'm trying to say here is, this ain't no online business where you can just be somewhere in Acapulco and just do your delivery business in Chicago. No, your ass better be in Chicago if you are trying to compete in Chicago. Your ass better be in Atlanta if you want to do a delivery business in Atlanta. Your ass better be in Teaneck, New Jersey if you want to actually compete in Teaneck and Tenafly and all the surrounding counties. Okay, this is important. So when we talk about choosing a lender, you have choices. You can choose like lending marketplace. First of all, you can choose direct lenders. That's what I was just telling you earlier. Like, direct lenders include banks, credit unions, and online lenders. Then you have lending marketplaces. You have a lot of marketplaces that actually will lend to you, will actually approve your box truck startup business. So I spoke to you earlier about Lendio being one of them. You have National Business Capital. You also have Smart Biz. You also have alternative lenders. You have alternative lenders such as Top Mark Funding. You have Kalamata Group. You have Balboa Capital. So you have a lot of players in this industry who will lend to you, even if you're a startup, and not a problem. You also have P2P lending platforms. Okay, so P2P stands for peer to peer. So you have a lending club, for example. You have a lending tree, for example. So you have a lot of players. Now, depending on your geography, let us know in the comment section, and we'll just give you more information about how to get a loan for your new box truck business. Next thing I want you to do here is to really start paying attention to the application itself, the loan application. Okay, some lenders have only one page, so if you apply online, they'll just send you to a page, and that page doesn't have a lot of info. Like, they're not asking too many questions. You know why? Because if you go into apply for a box truck business loan, the box truck itself, the vehicle, will represent the underlying collateral, like the underlying asset, because it becomes a de facto collateralized loan. That's if you are getting the loan to finance a new box truck or a used box truck, for that matter. But if you want to get the cash for something else, then you may have an unsecured business loan. So there are other conditions. But the thing is that in either way, you need to fill out the application properly. It's just better to fill out the application at a bank or let's say at a bank branch or a credit union branch if you are applying with a traditional lender. Now, if you are going to apply with an online lender or an alternative lender, then you need to be in a situation where you provide paperwork real fast. Okay. But again, they're not asking you for gazillions of paperwork, because again, it's really straightforward. If you have found a way to reassure the lender that, hey, listen, I'm not asking for too much money, and on top of that, I have the means right now to repay you. Like, maybe I'm having jobs on the side, or like, it's really important to always explain to the lender how are you going to repay the loan and your existing debts. Okay, so fill out the application. If you have the application at a credit union or bank, it's just a lot better to go to a branch. But if you do it online, just follow the instructions they give you, so you can actually maybe go to a specific page where you can fill out all the information. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you have a bad credit. If you have bad credit, you can actually get a startup. You can get a loan for your box truck new business, not a problem. You just have to provide more information, okay, and have a long talk with the lender to explain why you got bad credit in the first place and what you have done ever since to actually fix the issues that actually pertain to that bad credit. Let me give you a few pro tips here. The thing is that lenders ask for a different amount of money when it comes to, like, if you were to think about how much income you need to get a startup business loan for your box truck, it really depends. And so if you are somewhere in Rhode Island and Dover, Delaware, versus like somewhere in New York City, Brooklyn, or you are in LA, or like, it really depends. So some lenders will want you to show proof of income at the personal level. So they know you have a startup, that's fine, okay. So they're okay with that, but they want to make sure that you are deriving some kind of revenue, so that they can be assured, okay, we're not actually wasting our cash anyway. Okay, and it's really important to understand that if you want to get a loan for the first time, you have to pay attention to what I told you in terms of having a business plan, having financial projections, like doing everything you can in your power to reassure the lender that, hey, listen, because see, the lender doesn't know you, but you know yourself. So the lender wants you to prove to him that, or her, that you are basically in a position of authority. That you can basically do the things that are important for your business. So this is and one thing I also need to say here is that lenders pay attention also to the kind of business relationship you have. Like they'll ask you to provide business references, banking references. This is why it's always important when you have a box truck new business, or you have a sprinter van new business, or you have a cargo van new business, to always establish a stronger relationship with the bank where you currently are at. Okay, so when we talk about stronger relationship, we're talking about not just having the bank, not just hiring the bank for, like having the bank, having your checking account at the bank. Hire the bank. You want to hire the bank for a lot of other things. Like they have something called merchant account services. This is where banks want to make money off of you. So just hire them for like a lot of stuff. One thing I also want to say here is that it's when we talk about getting your foot in the door, and you have a startup business loan, and you're looking for a startup business loan for your box truck, just make sure that you provide all the paperwork on time and in full. Don't let the lender start thinking that you are playing games with the system. This will be really bad for you. Okay, so don't do that. And one thing you need to really pay attention to when it comes to the whole decision making process is to understand that, if you have a box truck already, things are a little different. If you don't have a box truck at all and you want to get a loan for your new box truck business, then you will need to spend more. Like whether you want to get a used box truck or a new box truck, the lender wants to pay attention to that. And if that's the case, then the money is going straight to the dealer. Like they're not going to give you the cash and then hope that, God forbid, that you actually have made the payments to your clients. Stuff happens, okay? So this is why lenders are very, very careful. And if this happens, like let's say you are basically you want to start a box truck no business, and you have not actually clearly articulated how you're going to use the cash once you get the loan. In other words, how are you going to have that? How are you going to use the loan proceeds? Chances are they might not give you the loan that you are asking for, because you haven't articulated the best way that you believe that your business will benefit from the loan. This is why some entrepreneurs in this country, they actually hire a loan broker, a business loan broker. So somebody to really coach them, somebody to really guide them throughout the process, so that they can get the loan the loan they need in the first place. So if you have a box truck and you're looking for a loan for your new business, maybe it might be time to hire a coach. Of course, you got to have the money to pay that person. You got to have the money to actually help that person see the entire picture before you do that kind of job. And otherwise, it's not going to happen overnight. And it's really important to understand that you are going to you may lose money if you keep let's say you keep applying over and over and over to several business loans and you never get it. Then you are wasting a lot of points on your FICO score, right? Because every time you get a hard pull, normally you get about 5% or to 10% income. But there are some people who actually will lose more points. It's not about losing income. It's more about losing FICO score points, okay? And we know that you will lose money later on if your FICO score goes down too quickly, because some lenders at least, when it comes to box truck new businesses, some lenders will base your interest rate based solely on your FICO score. Okay. So this is how important they think of the your FICO score. And one thing I also need to say here is that you need to make sure that, again, your monetization model is adapted to your geography. Oh yeah. Your monetization model must be adapted to your geography if you want to get your loan approved. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about box truck, how to get a loan for a new business. I gave you a couple of tips here and there. I hope that you found them value adding. I'll speak to you later on, but before that, remember to always be marvelous.